Yeah, folks, Quill18 here, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Dwarf Fortress. And this time, I'm going to try not to record so much in one day that I blow out my voice for an entire week. That was a really rough period. For those of you who don't come to the live streams and whatever, yeah, basically, I've had laryngitis for about a week. It's actually been a week since I recorded Dwarf Fortress. I did sneak in a couple of streams in between them, but it's been kind of tricksy. And yeah, a lot of sore throat going on. So we're going to try to do a little bit more reasonably here. On the plus side, it means the YouTube videos have caught up with real time. I'm completely through my backlog of Dwarf Fortress videos, which means I can address some comments in real time, which is really helpful. First of all, so apparently the nobles don't actually care if you melt down the items that they've mandated, like their favorite stuff, which is great. So the only thing we have to worry about is A, making them, and B, not selling them, but otherwise we could melt them down. So theoretically we could make spears and then melt them down and then, you know, keep a supply going on there. So that's one thing we could consider. The other thing is, oh, right, the reminder of what the df hack command is to list the agreements, which is lovely to see. So, we've got this temple over here. Someone said maybe there had been another request of a temple before, and I might have forgotten it. So if that's the case, that's a little bit unfortunate. So are these outstanding? Probably they're outstanding. We are digging out a temple space, which is great. And if we come up to the guild level, I suspect what might be the case with these. Again, it's been a week since I've played, but I'm pretty sure we went and built the farmers, fishery, and Craftsdwarf Guild Hall, but we probably should rename these. Oh, can I not rename them while that's happened? Okay. No, so this is the basic ones. These are the ones I probably set up to encourage some training. Armorer Guild Hall. And then over on this side, this is the Farmers Guild Hall. The Stoneworkers Guild Hall. Hey, I named that one. And this is the Fishery. Oh, someone else, speaking of fishing, suggested that it might be a good idea to keep some fishing going on, because if someone gets in a strange mood and wants some shells and they're not around, that could be kind of awkward. And that's a great point. I don't think I've really personally encountered that issue too much. We might have some shells left over from before, but that's definitely something to consider. So if we look here, the Fishery Guild Hall, yeah, it's a meeting place, so it's unsatisfied. It's a guild hall, so the stoneworkers should be satisfied. And indeed, they're not in the list. Okay. And this was the farming one. Agreed to build a grand guild hall, so that's gone up. So, oh, is this the new one here? Craftsdwarf, yeah, okay. Craftsdwarf Guild Hall. So this is going to need some pertifying so that we can satisfy the basic needs. How do I want this to look? Again, the actual, you know, furniture and all those things doesn't really matter in a sense, right? They don't, as far as I know, they don't actively use this versus that or anything, but it adds value. Plus, it's kind of nice and interesting. I think what I want to do is I want to do some pairs of tables. 2 gap and then there, 2 gap and then there. There we go. We'll do a trio that way. So we can have, you know, maybe it's sort of a master and apprentice kind of setup. I don't know about in the middle. Maybe a couple of them. Maybe with a supervisor in between. I think I'm also going to throw some chests in here just to mix up what we're building in these various rooms. There you go. So hopefully that's going to be enough furnishings to satisfy the needs of that. We're going to have to take another look-see. And then, yeah, otherwise we need to make sure that this gets finished. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, hey, listen, you can stop the mining at that point. Not that important. Go ahead and finish this place. I'll just trim that back as well. I mean, I'm sure we'll be mining it out at some point, but there's no reason to rush on that. We'll want to do a smoothing here. And yeah, sign it. So which temple was it? Wait, did the temple one peace out? This is the latest output right here, right? Oh, no. It's at the bottom as the latest. Okay. I was getting confused. I'm like, why is it only showing guild halls and then this? No, okay. The bottom is the newest. Dolek, the incinerated fellowship. I think it was said fellowship. But Dolek should be what I'm looking for in the list when I'm defining this temple. Oh, I think one of our miners just pieced out to take a break. Oh, going to listen to poetry. All right. Now, do we need a third miner? I don't think so. Not right now. I don't think there's that much going on. So zone, meeting area, mandate for construction, which we'll take a look at. Oh, someone had suggested, would it be a good idea to have a dedicated workshop for the mandate jobs to make sure there's no competition? It's an interesting point. I don't think we're going to have that bottleneck right now because it does tend to alternate tasks anyway, but that's something definitely to keep in mind. So we're going to make a new temple to Dolek, 35 worshippers, fortresses, war, and valor. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't think we can assign a priest or whatever they call it here before it becomes a proper temple at 200 or 2000. So that's been defined. We need to smooth this. It happened very quickly with so many dwarves. What are we at? An even 100 dwarves. And then how do I want to build this up? I don't know. I think we should have something that looks like an altar and then maybe a bunch of seats, like pews. Pews always struck me as kind of a funny word because it sounds like it might be a dirty word. Uvash has been appointed to the position of outpost liaison. All right. Good for you, Uvash. Okay, waiting on platinum bars. Yeah, actually, I'll cancel all these because a bunch of these are a little older. Now, let's go. There you go. Series of tables over there. I mean, there are other structures that we could be building, but I think this is a fine way to do it. We might get some statues in here, although I think we might be short on things for a bit. So let's make rows of chairs here. Like pews. No, still sounds dirty. There we go. Something like that. It'll take a while to kit that all out, but that theoretically... Oh, they are going to want storage for instruments. So, and you know, probably their offerings. So we'll just put tons of extra chests in here. Again, as a way to just add value. I think that's going to be kind of nice. No decoration in here. I think what'll probably happen is in these little corners, we might put little statues. But right now, the value of this particular temple doesn't actually matter that much. Although anyone who comes to worship here, if it is, you know, like legendarily decorated, will have better thoughts. Let's throw a door in that doorway as well, because I think that'll look nice. And again, as another object that might impress our dwarves. Okay. How's our military situation? We have one squad of archers, right? We'll do an update on equipment here just to see the situation. You are staggered training, which is fine. Now, okay, that is a good reminder. Let's take a look at these mandates. Make spears, rings, and crowns. Now, once again, I'm going to say, oh, wait. No, I was going to say, oh my God, there's a search window, but no. So there's still no search on this. Rock rings over there. I think this looks different because I think this is the make one every month job. Yep. Do we have a similar one for crowns? I'm assuming it would look the same, so probably not. And spears? I don't think we'd set up these automated jobs yet. Now, I guess when it comes to a job that wants 3, the one a month, and especially if it doesn't get queued up immediately and at the top of the list of the workshop, might not happen quickly enough. If I want to automate it, maybe what I want to do for this is do 2 month, which is a little overkill, but it's not so bad. I think it's only the monarch that asks for many, many, many things. So our barons and counts and mayors, I think they mostly just ask for 1. I might be wrong about that. But I think those are the ones that are fairly easy to automate as a do 1 at a time. So rock crown. We could make them crowns out of metal as well. And then we would... No, I don't need to set this up. I just need to set this up. check monthly. I suppose we could do, for the spears, we could do 3 per season, but the timing might be awkward there too. I think I could do metal ones and then melt them down afterwards. But rocks are so plentiful. What the heck, right? All right, 1 rock crown, and then I'm just going to ask for steel spear. I still think we might just make a spear squad. So we'll do 3 on demand over here. We do have enough dwarves. I really could run a second military, and I probably should. Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea. So we want to create a new squad with a new militia command. Actually, our spear squad could be our royal defenders, right? If our queen, I think it's a queen, if our queen likes spears so much, perhaps she wants to be defended by spear-wielding warriors. So we could appoint it by the captain of the guard, but I think we might need a little bit of flexibility. I mean, I can send the captain of the guard squad out. I think the issue with it is that whenever you do, the captain of the guard loses like all their room appointments and things, which is kind of annoying. Hey, you don't think your thing is fancy enough? Actually, neither one of you. Really? Right, you're waiting for your engravings and a ton of furniture. And you're waiting for some things as well over here too. Okay, that's kind of legit. Do we... These stoneworkers workshops, we set up a bunch of these. I think I need a bulk job for things so that they get queued more. That's what we need. We need a bulk order for rock doors, rock table, because I think we only have the like make 1 a month thing, so it's not using multiple things. I just realized. Rock thrones. We might need some extra rock coffers too. Not as many, but let me do that. So the doors, 20 doors, 30 tables, 30 thrones. We actually might need more than this for all our temples too. Actually, I think we do. I think the queue for that was like 40 or 50 deep. The thrones will ask a bunch for, because especially with all those pews and everything set up, we're going to do that. Normally they're sort of 1-to-1. Okay, let me do that. That'll queue up a few more. And then if we take a look at the Stonecraft, right, I added a bunch of these, but yeah, they're not being added into the work queue because the automated one wasn't enough per day. I could just change our automated job to, if we don't have enough, make a batch of 10. Which doesn't make sense at the start of the fortress, but might make sense now. Because generally speaking, if we're going to be placing a table, we're probably placing a lot of them. So we might actually want a trigger to make a ton at once. Jock has been possessed. A doctor. Probably he'll just do a craft thing unless he has another random mootable mechanics workshop. That was unexpected. Is that you here? What are your skills? Adequate mechanic. So, are you just making to make an artifact mechanism? How interesting. Great intuition, ability to read emotions fairly well, questionable spatial sense. I can't remember where the description is. Oh, right here. Mighty. Really, very rarely sick and is agile, slow to heal. I was going to say, this person could be a good candidate for the military with these stats, although the slow to heal kind of sucks. But at the same time, I don't think we want to put our doctor in the military because doctoring skills are hard to come by and we don't want those dwarves being injured. We need them to serve other people. Although the idea of a combat medic, if that was a mechanic in the game, certainly sounds kind of interesting, but it's not something. All right, so yeah, all these workshops are getting tons of things queued up. People are actually going to go and start working those jobs now. That's good. Yeah, I should have definitely done that sooner. Wasn't thinking about it, right? I was like, oh, okay, I'll add these extra workers on it, but I wasn't thinking that there just wouldn't be enough things being queued up. So that should help to furnish these rooms a little faster. Yeah, that's the position there. If we take a look at... Right, so there's 30 chairs, at least 30 chairs in the queue, and at least 30-ish tables in the queue. So I think my request makes sense. Yeah, and then these extra chests as well, which apparently there's at least 30 chests in the queue as well. Oh, maybe then, this coffer job, I'll change it to 30 of 30. I wonder if the manager has to revalidate it or if it just considers it's already be validated. Ooh, early winter. Okay. Man, these saves are so much faster than they used to be. I don't know how much of that is Steam, and more of it might be I think I have it installed on SSD now, whereas I always used to have it on hard drive. Okay, now I'm sort of kicking myself for not doing another military squad. So this is being marked as a siege. Vile Force of Darkness. Yeah, so the stack of invaders there. There might be some more coming onto the map as well. We'll do the same thing. We're going to activate our civilian alert. Yeah, just safe inside is fine. Basically the entire base other than these surface levels. We'll unpause a tick. So you've moved in. Okay, I'm hoping there's no other dwarves outside. This is the outer one, so we're going to pull a pull lever job on there, which should seal this in. Excellent. And our military squad, I'm going to make sure you are on the just constant training schedule, which is just going to put you up in this tower. Wait, did the siege break already? Okay, this is the second time the siege instantly ends. Why is that? I'm going to release the civilian alert. I'm not going to put down this barrier right away. Yeah, once this barrier is up, we can always lift the alert. It's mostly the alert is to make sure no one's hanging out outside. I mean, unless it's like a lack of vision. That's really weird. We didn't... Normally they break if we kill enough of them. I'm really confused. Is it just because there's like no path in? But no, I mean, it's a siege. They're meant to set up a siege and then not do anything. Like, and then starve you out or whatever. And deny us trade caravans. Watching some fighting demos. It's good. Okay, well... I mean, that's a thing that happened. Let's get prepped for our military squad. So... And we are going to want to start raiding out in the world. Okay, we'll do militia captain. We're going to do the light armor version here. If we go and equip... Right, I need at least one person. The Veiled Silvers and the Limbs of Silver. All right, we'll assign a militia captain. So Airnator over here has some skills. I think, did I not assign them last time because they were sort of moody? Is that the case? I feel like it might have been, but they actually seem like in a pretty good mood now. We do have some other cranky dwarves. Playing Lord Warfire? No, I don't know. Maybe it's the same. You're not already assigned to anything else, right? All right, Airnator. So you're going to leave the Limbs of Silver. Now, if I check your equipment, turn off the steel short swords, add a new weapon, which is a spear made of steel, and then light plus spear, confirm and save uniform. So now we have a new uniform assigned to this squad. We've created a new one. Like if I were to create a new squad, I think we could pick that uniform. Or I guess if I just assign uniform, there we go. Light plus sphere. We still have the light, which is great. So we can go and add more people to this group. So what we want is, yes, melee efficiency is good. We want to exclude anyone who's already in a squad. I'm going to exclude nobility and appointed officials. I guess anyone who doesn't like fighting or is critically injured, we can leave them out. And mothers with infants, sure. I don't think we've got that many people in this category, but we've got that. I think this is the combat skill, which isn't a lot right now. But to be fair, you know, no one's been training up, so that's okay. So Grom, who's a talented swords dwarf, we could decide to explicitly give Grom a short sword. The squad could be mostly spears, but we could make sure... Let me make a note here in my other monitor. Grom the Punch. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. I'm sorry if it's not. I've always said it wrong. Or I've already said it, always said it this way. So either I've always said it right or not. So made a note that you're going to want a sword. Despite being an otherwise spear squad, these guys have jobs. And at this point, we don't have anyone with any real combat skill. Now, these are looking at other attributes, right? If someone is strong, agile, good healer, etc., etc., etc. But, Trass, Gemble, Pavel, Jake, not that obvious, Mr. Galdor, Cripson, and CC Basin. Hopefully I didn't actually assign anyone who was already on a task. I might have been, there could have been a misclick in there. But hopefully we're okay. Now, equip Grom. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, then assign uniform to light plus spear to the entire group. Except for Grom. Now, I don't think I can assign a uniform anymore to Grom. Like, I can't just tell them to take the light one. But that is effectively what I'm going to be doing here, because I'm going to say, listen, you're good with swords, so you're going to do steel short sword, my friend. Like that. Okay. Oh, confirm. There we go. Custom uniform. Good. Excellent. So I'm going to put both these squads back on staggered training. I'm going to use these barracks for more training. Getting a little crowded. What I suspect might happen is our melee squad might have another barracks down in the cavern levels once we get there. But for now, the limbs of silver, you can train in here. And actually, I don't know that you need to sleep up here. This is kind of, I want my archers in a tower. You can just train and then otherwise do whatever. Yeah, I like that. All right, so we need to start equipping these guys. So if we take a look at the light armor layout, it is similar to the other one in that it has leather armor, but it also has steel mail shirts, steel helms, steel gauntlets, and the high boots. Now, I don't think those are being constructed. All the leather stuff. Yeah. Steel production is going. So I think steel helm, steel mail, whoops. Steel high boots. I mean, we could also start creating gear for our heavy squad later, but and also steel short sword, like so. And I mean, we are going to be creating freaking spears forever. We could just standardize all our military on spears, but I don't think so. I think I'll have the one squad of spears. And again, we might go and change this up. I was going to say, we could change this up to be the defensive one. Can we change the leader to the captain of the guard? I guess we probably can. Because we wouldn't want to change their equipment because they'll be training with the spears and presumably getting skill with it. Well, whatever. That's a problem for future, Quill. So we're going to set these up to make, just Q1 up per day. And I think we just want to make sure there's like a couple sitting around ready to be equipped at any given point. And that's probably fine. We could put in some limitations based on the material. And I may, but for now I think I'm going to be happy to show me errors if we don't have enough of this stuff. We'll keep an eye on things. So I don't need to queue up spears. So the rest of the armor that we're going to want later on are going to include gauntlets. Hold on, was gauntlets? Gauntlets may have been something that they were going to wear. I don't think they're that heavy, so I suspect that they were probably in my light grouping. Even if they're not, again, this is just going to be ready for the future. One thing I could do is I could bulk job these things one time for the squad as well. Rather than doing all this by demand, is we could just go 10, 10, 10. But the problem is, as I add more squads, I'm going to have to put in full orders every time, which is going to be kind of annoying to me. So we'll just start with this. And then, yeah, I could go and set up the breastplate and the greaves. Those are two pieces that are heavy. And so if people don't have armor skill, it's going to slow them down dramatically. There's no level of armor skill that eliminates the slowdown, but it does go down pretty quickly. And it looks like kind of about 5 points of armor skill. That's kind of where they're going to be perfectly fine wearing the heavier stuff and not get slowed down too much. So I'm going to put those in. Of course, because DF hack, I could also import the military set of orders over here, which will queue up a bunch of stuff. And then I could go and just delete the ones I don't care for. That would definitely be a possibility. So tan hides, no water source. Oh yeah, with the barrier down, I guess if people need fresh water. All right, I mean, I guess we're probably fine. I'm a little weirded out by it, but sure. We still have our traps to defend ourselves. And in theory now, we're going to start having some squads, although it'll take a while before they can be equipped defensively. We do need a lot more leather. I'm going to, with our trade caravans, I am going to make sure to explicitly ask for leather going forward. Because we do have a little bit of a leather industry, but it's not necessarily the fastest. Let's go and unforbid all, which might be some random bolts and stuff like that on the surface that were left over from hunting. We can unforbid those now and go and collect them. Still very confused by what's happening by these sieges, but I mean, sometimes Dwarf Fortress is nice. That feels wrong to say. It feels like saying that sometimes Randy Random in RimWorld is nice, which is technically true, but it's just kind of inviting trouble. Mysterious construction has begun. Nice. What did you pick up? Shale, rock salt, yak leather, and rough rock crystals. Quite a lot of stuff. Gonna be a fancy mechanism. So we're still waiting for a lot of furniture to be made. Now, my stone carvers, I think... Oh, no, they all were set to exclusive. Okay. I can probably back off on that later and give them more flexibility again. But for now, I guess it's going to be nice. It would be interesting if on this screen, you could see what jobs people were actively doing right at the second. Right? So if I hit U and search for Nang over here... Oh, he's cleaning himself. All right. That's fine. Then we can see if, what they're up to. Let's look at someone else. Wandering Ursa. Make rock table. You having all these heavy rocks? You are. Yeah, I mean, there's a rock stockpile over here. I guess there's not one over here. But this one's not full anyway. I think our haulers aren't busy enough. All right, you have created Olenda's lead locum, a shale mechanism. Let's take a look. Geared smear, the rack of spears. All right. 4,500 dwarf bucks. This is a shale mechanism. All Craps dwarf ship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with oval rock salt cabochons, decorated with yak leather and encircled with bands of yak leather. This object is adorned with hanging rings of rock salt and rock crystals and menaces with spikes of shale. All right, it is what it is. Let's go and put it in the dining hall. So we've got an empty pedestal over here. We're going to use the DF hack assignment, which is far superior. We're going to filter for just artifacts and that. We still haven't installed the chain. Done and done. The justice system. No cases. I hope that cases will show up here even if we don't already have a captain of the guard, right? Am I getting confused between the roles? I might be. But I'm hoping that if something happens, it'll show up there. But we need to get someone in the position of policing to actually enforce those. That's my hopes. But I might be wrong. I didn't see anything in the last couple of episodes comments that clarified it one way or another. Maybe we'll check the wiki. DF wiki justice. Yeah, sheriff or captain of the guard. I mean, that's who administers it. I think things will show up, even if we don't have a captain of the guard yet. I think. And then we'll have to appoint it, just to make sure things can happen. But we haven't, as far as I know, we haven't violated, that's what I'm looking for, a mandate of any kind. And no one has stolen an artifact yet, although eventually that might be a little bit of a thing. It helps that this tavern possibly isn't just a free-for-all for everyone, although we do allow outsiders to come and visit our guilds. So that could lead to outsiders coming in and some theft occurring. Okay, temple. So one of the guild halls has been satisfied, presumably. The others are still being worked on. Yeah, mostly due to furnishings. We take a look at our orders. Rock thrones. Yeah, we have a bunch of orders in there, but they're definitely being made. And then some engraving still happening here, which is important because this was the one that wanted to be a grand guild hall. So the engravings in theory should add enough value. We could throw a couple of statues in here too. I think they're being constantly made. We'll link later. Need to make 3. So we actually are a little late on that. But in case the engravings... Well, I'll wait, since we are still waiting for the statues to be made, which, I was going to say, is a shortage of actual platinum. Do we have... Where am I looking for? I guess I'm looking under stones. We do have platinum nuggets. Okay. So it's a question of, is the platinum being smelted? We do have the job in there. We do have multiple smelters, although not that many things happening simultaneously. Our furnace operators. We do have 2. Is that one of them that's hauling things slowly? It is. Hauling platinum nuggets. Yeah, and this is all full of magnetite. Yeah, so it sort of makes sense why things are maybe being a little slow, but the platinum is being smelted. The statues are being made. I suspect some of them are heading into our royal chambers and whatnot. We might need more engravers, even though that means starting a little low skill. McLeod here is a novice. They are working number 2. Is it this one? It is. Do we pull you out of stone carving, even though you are skilled? And we do need a bunch of those. No, maybe not. Well, we've got a few novices, and some people aren't doing anything. Incredible Dork, weaponsmith. How good are you at weaponsmithing? Adequate. We got a couple of competent ones. Tell you what, Incredible Dork. I think you're going to become an engraver. Okay. I mean, you're only a novice. And we might be a little upset if we're not getting value out of all our engravings. But we're getting some anyway. And I think I'm going to appreciate having 2. Did I set it as exclusive? I did. Good. Okay. I think that's going to be nice. I want to put some doors over here, but I don't know about queuing more. Although it would be at the bottom of the queue, but I might end up putting doors somewhere else that I want to have happen faster. So, yep, okay, you're a guild hall. You got all your furnishings in. You're a guild hall. So now, if we can do this again, company said it's the craft dwarf down here, right? And the great guild hall, and then the temple. Ooh, petition. Bronze guild, work cloaks, metalsmith guild. All right. Let's get this mining and get that sorted. Yeah. I need a lot more furniture. Okay. The automated furniture jobs. I don't know if the bed's needed as much. But these doors, I mean, 1 per day. No, I am going to change these. If we don't have enough of any of these, again, I've got the bulk job going on right now, but going forward, if we don't have enough of these, make 4 at a time. And by enough in this case, we're going to say, keep like 10 rock doors. And this is going to add more wealth just sitting around, more objects being tracked. But I think going forward, we'll appreciate it. Okay, again, we've got the bulk one, which is going on. Thrones, yeah, I guess that's the stuff. And again, our bulk jobs are being done first, so it's going to be fine. But this should ensure that we've got a decent amount of things queued up going forward when we do one of these. Okay, mandated construction of spears. Again, I do the spears manually right now, which I think is fine. And 3. Okay. Unpause that. Yeah, need 10 hides. So we're a while away before we get our Dwarven trade caravan and the human one, right? Human one's in the summer? Yeah. I think if you have elves, they come in the spring, but we don't have any elven civilizations in our little pocket world. Good riddance. Value's going up. Okay. So, meeting area. There. Accept. Go. Guild Hall. Metal. It was smiths. Yep. Metal smiths. Metal smith guild hall. And smooth it, baby. And then otherwise, well, we'll furnish it in a second. Not like we don't have a million things in queue anyway to go first, so. Kind of behind on the doors, which is a little surprising. Did I put in the bulk job for the doors? Did I just do table thrown coffers and not actually a door bulk job? That seems... Or they already burned through it. But there's still a lot of doors in the queue. I might not have done it. Rock door. Let me ask for like 40 of them to be made here. Because we could see there was at least 30 in the queue. And I'm going to add some more here. It'll be quite clear. As soon as I plop down these doors, you see, yeah, I need to make 42, so... It is an extensive queue. Can I make statues of anvils? I mean, that's a lot of work for this, so I might not do it yet. And I kind of like a workshop style feel. Or a lot of my workshops. Sorry, a lot of my guild halls, actually. Oops, an extra one there. 71 chairs, okay. That is actually a ridiculous amount of chairs waiting. How's the table queue? Okay, table queue is not so bad. So I think part of it is the temple had all those extra chairs too. What I'm going to do, rather than change the order, I'm just going to make a separate order for rock thrones. For an extra, like, 30. Again, I've got the automation, but the bulk stuff should help us use more of the workshops simultaneously. So right, this is our hospital. It's got the traction benches, got beds. I mean, if there's going to be a big battle, we are going to want more of those. We do have a little bit of queue for beds, but hardly any. So that's going to be okay. All right. So if we look at the workshop floor, yeah. The rock hauling's definitely not making things too speedy. Do I want to put a little rock storage over here? But the thing, it's just a lack of hauling. Like, we have a rock storage or stone storage here. You can see someone is doing it. Two wheelbarrows. I could shrink this down. Okay, maybe I will. And then I have to put a cut in this episode. I already went longer. I was aiming for half an hour. Already went over. I'm such a bad boy. Do I want to extend this over here? Or make a separate one? I think I want to make a separate one. So, your stone. One wheelbarrow is probably enough for this one because it's not huge. But again, we're going to customize this to just non-economic stone, please. Okay. And yeah, if we had enough idlers, well, we've got a few people socializing. If you have enough idlers and they can start doing more hauling jobs and just bring the rocks down with a wheelbarrow, that will optimize this quite a bit. Okay, Quill, you've got to save your voice. You've got to be a good boy. Oh, there we go. Guild established. Oh, I think that's the same message we had before. I don't think that's the satisfaction of this. Or maybe it is. Anyway, hang on. Is the Metalsmiths Guild already satisfied? That doesn't make sense. It is. Why? Why is this 2,000 value? And this one not 2,000 value? This doesn't even have any furniture in it yet. Is it counting the rocks? But those rocks, they're all smoothed. How is this one being satisfied? It does have gems in its walls. Is that a thing? Well, I think wall material does it does come into the thing. If you make golden walls, I think that does factor into the value of a room. So I think those gems might be sending them over. Oh, how interesting. I mean, that's not something we can really plan around. I mean, oh, we see some gems in the wall that we decide to not mine out. We know we can make a fancier room there. I mean, in the end, it'll all be fine with the furnishings. How is this coming along? The engravings are coming well. Okay, nearly there. By the time these engravings finish, I'm sure they're going to be at the level. Now, some of these wall things, I think there's still the issue where whatever side the dwarf is on when they do the engraving, that's the room that gets it. So these guys won't double dip on those engravings. But hopefully they'll do it on this side and it'll be there. If nothing else, the floor might be enough. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. Folks, thanks a lot for watching. I do want to apologize in advance if there are some gaps in episodes for this series because I still have a very scratchy throat. I don't know what I did to myself, but it's not great. So I'm going to have to pace myself on the recordings a little bit just to make sure there's no long-term issues. But otherwise, I'm so enjoying our Dwarf Fortress run. I hope you are too. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.